Today, we're going to dive into the incredible story of a Japanese physician who looked into the heart of a volcano and found a completely new path to healing. It's a story that connects ancient tradition with modern science, and it all revolves around one single remarkable mineral. So, our story doesn't start in some sterile, high-tech lab. Nope. It begins deep within the Earth's crust, where for millions and millions of years, these immense geological forces were at work, literally forging something unique in volcanic fire. To really get what's going on here, we have to start at the source, and that source is a very, very unique stone. Okay, so picture this. We're in Japan, in the Sobo-Katamuki mountain range, right near Mount Okyu. This is a land that's been shaped by fire and time. And it was right here, back in 1978, that some researchers stumbled upon a mineral ore that was unlike anything they'd ever seen before. They gave it a name, SGE, which stands for super growth energy. And listen, this wasn't just some ordinary rock. It's a metamorphic ore. So think of it like this. Ancient sandstone got basically cooked and crushed by this insane volcanic heat and pressure, and that forced it to recrystallize into something completely new and incredibly complex. And the composition of this stone is really what sets it apart. Sure, it's got common stuff, but it's also packed with over 30 different trace minerals, things like vanadium and selenium. It even contains a naturally occurring, very low-level radioisotope called potassium-40. It was this unbelievably rich and unique mineral profile that really caught the eye of researchers. But a stone is just a stone until someone comes along and starts asking the right questions. And that brings us to the man who would end up dedicating his life to unlocking its secrets. This is Dr. Hiroyuki Hirose. Now, he started his career as a pretty conventional pediatrician, but pretty quickly he felt like something was missing. So in the late 70s, he made this huge turn and just dove headfirst into studying traditional Japanese Kampo medicine. And by 1989, he opened his own clinic, creating this amazing practice that blended the best of both worlds, Western and Eastern medicine. At the absolute heart of his work was this beautiful concept, Shizenshi Yurioku. It means the body's own innate, natural power to heal itself. He believed a doctor's real job was just to support and unlock that power, using whatever tools worked, whether they came from a modern lab or from ancient wisdom. And he wasn't just some distant theorist. This tribute from a colleague, wow, it really paints a picture. It shows he was this beloved mentor, known for his personal touch, literally giving his patients ki or energy, and for building this whole community of doctors who shared his vision for a more integrated, holistic approach to medicine. Okay, so we've got this unique stone, right? And we've got this visionary doctor. The big question is, how did he connect the two? This is where his research gets truly fascinating, as we look at the actual science he believed he uncovered. The crucial discovery, well, it really comes down to this number. Dr. Hirose found that the SGS stone emits a very specific type of energy called far infrared radiation. You can think of it as this gentle, totally invisible heat. But it's not just any heat. It's concentrated in this 4 to 14 micron wavelength. And this specific band, it's often called the growth energy range because it's the wavelength that seems to be particularly active in living things. This brings us right to his core theory, which he called the resonance effect. Here's the simple breakdown of how he believed it worked. First, the stone gives off those specific far infrared waves. Second, because our bodies are mostly water, these waves resonate with the water molecules inside all of our 60 trillion cells, kind of like how a specific musical note can make a wine glass vibrate. And finally, he proposed that this gentle, constant vibration activates our cells, gives their metabolism a boost, and basically unleashes the body's natural healing power. So, based on this whole theory of resonance, Dr. Hirose didn't just stop there. He developed a really comprehensive clinical framework that was built on 6 key functions. He actually laid all of this out in his 2003 book, outlining these 6 pillars. It's a really holistic model, right? It covers everything from energizing ourselves with that resonance we just talked about, to helping the body protect and clean itself out through antioxidant, detoxifying, and even antibacterial effects. This was his complete model for how SPGE could support health from all these different angles. And he absolutely put it to the test. In his own words, Dr. Hirose explains that starting in the year 2000, he ran clinical trials with about 1,000 patients. And these were people dealing with really difficult chronic conditions like cancer and rheumatoid arthritis. His finding? That most of them experienced a real improvement in their quality of life. Let's just zoom in on one of those pillars for a second: antioxidant action. So, our bodies naturally produce this enzyme called SOD, which is basically a bodyguard for our cells, protecting them from damage. Dr. Hirose's research suggested that the specific trace minerals in SGPE actually help energize and support this crucial enzyme. In other words, the idea isn't that it replaces the body's defense system, but that it strengthens it from the inside out. So, what became of all this work? Well, Dr. Hirose's impact didn't just end with his research. It really continues to resonate even today. I mean, think about this. Just a year before his passing, Dr. Hirose received one of the highest honors in his field. He was named president of the Japan Toho Medical Society, which is a major organization for integrative medicine. This wasn't some minor award. It totally cemented his place as a respected leader who had successfully bridged that gap between ancient wisdom and modern science. And his work lives on in some very real, practical ways. The SGE mineral has been incorporated into a whole range of products you can see today, from bottled mineral water and home filtration systems to these popular SGE-infused hot sand baths you can find in Japanese spas. His research has created a real, tangible legacy. You know, the story of Dr. Hirose and the SGE stone is just such a powerful reminder of the deep, deep connection between the Earth and our own biology. And it really leaves us with a fascinating question, doesn't it? If one curious physician could find a new path to healing locked away inside a volcanic mineral, what other secrets is nature just waiting for us to uncover?